Okay, good morning, folks, and welcome to Friday morning, February 24th, 2012. This is going to be a recap of yesterday's trades that we took here at yourtradementor.com using our SDS trade system. These trades were taken again on Thursday, 2/23 of 2012. And for most of you, you're going to be new to the SDS system, so I'm going to give you some general information, point out where our trade triggers took place, and also give you a reference as to what our targets were that were hit and any stop losses that we took. However, I'm not going to disclose any of the proprietary trading information that reflects the actual triggers and confirmation of getting into certain trades. For that, we reserve for our members at yourtradementor.com. What we do is we offer 5-hour one-on-one training sessions online in our online classroom, and that's done with me, Matt Pitcher, the founder of the SDS system and yourtradementor.com. I have over 15 years of trading experience, floor trader on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange for 7 years, so I've got some insight as to how things go on the floor. We've been able to develop this system as a really good conservative, profitable trading system. We're not going to promise that you get rich, but we're not going to promise that you lose all your money either. If you have good discipline and you follow our system, we've got a really good edge that we've developed here. So come on by yourtradementor.com, learn a little bit more about what we offer, and I look forward to helping any new traders. So we'll get started here. Right now, in our system, we only take trades from 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So for about a 3.5 hour period is all we trade in the morning. After about 12 p.m. Eastern Time, volume drops off. Then you look towards the close of crude oil, the pit close, and we don't want to be trading during that time. There's a lot of helter-skelter trading going on, a lot of options that are being covered, and so we don't try to trade during that time. So based on our 8:30 start time, we'll go back and look and see here. Looks like about 8:38 was the first bar that showed us a trigger. Like I said, I'm not going to disclose that trigger, exactly what we're looking for confirmation, but I will say that this is one of the trade that all of our members took today. And it was a short trade on crude oil, and it looks like we got in about 106.56. And for this trade, this specific trade, this trigger that we're looking at, we have different targets based on the different triggers that we see. This is one of our triggers that calls for a 48 tick target T1 or target 1. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and mark on the chart where we were at, where we entered, and we'll show the 48 tick target 1 that we called for. And so we'll just go ahead and punch that in. So plus 48 ticks on this, and it was a short trade, and our 48 tick target got filled right about here. So 106.08 is where we got out. Okay. Now, also on this trade, we had a second trigger, and it was one of our patterns that calls for a 24 tick, a target 1. Now we're using a 24 tick stop loss on all of our trades. Okay, some of our members will trail the market. Some of our members will bump up they'll shadow the market basically by 12 ticks. Others will do a standard trail, 1 tick for 1 tick. Personally, I shadow the market by 12 ticks. So we'll take a look at this trade here. We'll go ahead and mark it on our chart, and it was actually the very next bar we saw another trigger. Let me get that going here. Okay, and again, I'm not going to disclose exactly what the trigger nuances were that we're looking at, but we'll say that this was one of our triggers. It would have been nice if we would have had a little bit larger target on this specific trigger, but you know, we establish our rules based on statistics, and we follow our rules. We stick to our plan regardless of what we're feeling in the market, and that's the key to being, you know, a profitable trader. Is you have to stick to the plan that you've created through statistical analysis, and that's what we've done here. So on this one, we'll go ahead and mark up what our target was. It was hit, and like I said, on this one, called for a 24 tick target. Okay, and you can see we hit that target. We hit that target right about here. So we entered 106.44 or thereabouts, and we got out at 106.20. So we got our 24 ticks. We also had another trigger on a possible third trade. This trade is not in my plan. However, we have quite a few of our members that do trade this trigger. My statistics show that I'm not having as much success with this trade. It's profitable, but to me, I want to reserve some of my cash to follow some of the other trades. I typically trade more than one contract, whereas some of the other members will only trade one contract. Therefore, I need to have a little bit more reserve in my account, so I'm going to avoid taking taking this specific trigger. However, I'll mark it. Go ahead and mark it on our charts here. I know I'll get yelled at by some of my members because they really love this trade. We'll go ahead and mark that up. Now this trigger is a 48 tick trigger. 48 tick target on this trigger. Go ahead and mark that one up. Another 48 ticks. Okay. And on this one as well, our members are using a 24 tick stop loss. Okay. Let's see here, moving forward. Now here is an, let's see, here's an excellent trade right here, and I really like this trade. This is one that I took. This is one that some of my members will take. Some may not because they got into this other trade earlier. What I do is I stagger my trades. So the way my plan works is if I get in on this first trade and it's a winner, you know, and it's moving in my direction, if these other trades that follow are in my plan, I'm getting into those trades. So in some cases, like on this one, this first trade I got in. Now, the very next bar was a second trigger. That's also in my plan. So I got in again on that trade. So basically I'm running two separate trades, each with their own money management. And then, you know, this third one, like I said, that's not in my plan, so I didn't take it. But this fourth one, I will be in. By that time, I've already gotten out of the first trade and the second trade. So I'm flat at this point when I get into this market. And this is a 48 tick target on this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got four bars going, 12 ticks apiece. So we've got a 48 tick target. We got it in about 105.96, 94. Possibly, it's like 105.94, and hit our T1 at 105.46. Let's see, yep, somewhere in there. So let's see, we'll go ahead and mark that up on the chart. All right, that was for 48 ticks. All right, so we went ahead and hit our target. Now, after we hit that 4 targets, you know, once I see this big move and I've gotten my target, I'm basically going to be flat after I get that target, and I'm looking for my next pattern. Okay, now certain patterns occur. Oh, one other quick point is that I do not, in my plan, I do not take trades 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after news. So at this point, let's see here. I was able to get in on this trade at 9:23. Okay, the U.S. Open is 9:30 Eastern Time. Okay, so I was okay on this trade getting in because I still had, roughly 6 minutes, 10 seconds before the open. My rule of thumb is if that clock down there reads 9:25 or more, I'm not going to get into that trade. It's too close to the open, and we see too much squirrely movement at the open. Now, conversely, in my plan, if I get into a trade within my normal time standards, okay, and I'm still in the trade when news is about to start, I let the trade ride, especially if I'm profitable, if I'm a couple ticks in, okay, which at this point, by the time the open came in, I already had 12 ticks in my direction. So I'm okay staying in that trade. What I want to do is I want to avoid getting into trades, 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after news. Okay, so that's one of the things that's in my plan. Some of the other members in our room, they may not use that. They may shorten that time duration. They may lengthen it. But it's one thing that you have to run. And what we do in our room is we'll show you the basic plan that we have. And I'll show you the statistics I've pulled on my plan. You can see my plan. I'll show you the stats that I've taken over the last month, 2 months as a member. And we'll walk through those, and we'll go through trade by trade, and we'll say, okay, why did this one work? Why did this one not work? What's the rationale on this particular pattern? Is this a pattern we want to take based on our stats? Is it a profitable pattern even? And we'll go ahead and walk through that. Now, it's not that complicated. We have about 4 rules that I suggest you follow. It's basically the pattern profitability. How many winners, how many losers did you have of that pattern throughout the course of the month or 2 months, whatever your statistic sample sizes that you're going to draw from, and we'll help you with that. And then you also look at the time of day. What time of day was it that you're trading? You also want to look at volume. What was volume like that day? Okay. And then you also want to look at any kind of major economic news that was going on. Is Iran on fire? Is Greek falling apart? Some of those things we need to take into consider, some of those larger macro issues. But we work with all of our members in the trade room, and we go over that. Basically, our goal is to help you establish the trade plan that makes you comfortable. Okay, it's going to be very similar to my trade plan because of the strategy and because of the edge and because of the system we use, but you're going to have a few tweaks in there. I don't want to trade at the open. I don't want to trade before 9:30. So there's going to be little differences that we'll help you with, but basically what you need to understand is that we help you create a plan based on your stats, and if your stats show you're profitable doing a certain thing, you do that certain thing over and over. If your stats say that it's not profitable, you avoid it. Okay? Let's see here. So we'll move on and we'll take a look, see what the next trigger was. Let's see here. We actually had a trigger at about 10:15 on a trade, and we'll go ahead and mark this up. This was, where were we at here? Okay, right there. So the close of this bar going long. We had a trigger, so right around 105.96. It's hard to see there, 94 maybe. And this is a 48 tick target. Now, here's a great example of one that did not win. It wasn't a winner, didn't go. Based on my plan, it was actually a break-even trade. Okay, I'm looking for 48 ticks for my T1. However, every 12 ticks that move in my direction, I'm moving my stop up 12 ticks. So right here at my entry, once I got in, my initial stop was set at minus 24 ticks. Okay, that's my stop loss, $240. So once I get into that trade and it moves 12 ticks in my direction, okay, great. Now I can move my stop from minus 24 to minus 12. Okay, and then I got a second bar in my direction. It went another 12 ticks. So once it went the second 12 ticks, I moved my stop up from minus 12 to break even. Okay, so I'm giving it 24 ticks of room to make sure that I don't smother the trade, but at the same time I capture whatever profit I can. Okay, and like I said, this is all based on statistics, and my statistics tell me that this works, and that more often than not I'm going to capture those big 48 tick moves. So you'll see in this case I got in and it went 24 ticks in my direction before coming all the way back and stopping me out at my break-even point. Which is fine, okay? We're going to take some losers. You just have to know how to handle them, okay? And I kind of consider a break-even a loser to some extent, especially in my stats, but we can go over that. We can go over that once you become a member. All right, so then we're on the watch again. We're going to look for another target. Now, here's an instance where I got in at this point on this trigger. It went 2 ticks in my direction, and on this second bar in my direction, I had a second trigger off of one of our other patterns. Okay, so I did take this trade. I got in at the close of this bar with another trade. Okay, now, like I said, the money management on each of my individual trades is handled separately. So this was a break even. However, this one that I got in on going long at about 106.18 was a full stop loss. Okay, so I got no ticks in my direction. It came back down and it stopped me out. Okay, so let me go ahead and mark these up here. All right, so on this trade, we had break even. All right. Let's see here. And then, actually, no, I'm sorry, I did not take that trade. This stop loss, I did not take this trade. And the reason I did not take this trade, let me remove this. Okay. The reason I did not take this trade was because of news. Okay. And it threw me off here just looking at this. Let me go back and look at my trade management over here. Okay, pull that up. Yeah. Okay. Yes. No. So on my live trading, I did not take this trade, and the reason why is that this trade triggered. This bar closed at 11. Okay, 11 Eastern time. Well, what did we have on Thursday? Yesterday at 11, we had the crude oil come out. Now, typically the crude oil news comes out at 10:30, and it comes out on Wednesday. But because we had a holiday on Monday, it was pushed back a day and up a half hour. So if you look at the news indicator, if you have Forex Factory or one of those, you can take a look and see that the crude oil barrel report came out at 11 Eastern on Thursday. So 5 minutes prior and 5 minutes after that, I would not have taken any of those trades. Okay, but the reason it threw me off, I knew I had a stop loss in here, and let me mark that up. The reason I had a stop loss was because I did get in here off of one of our triggers. Yeah. See if I can get that sucker. All right. Let me show you here. Okay. So this was a trigger, and if you look down at the timestamp, you'll see 11:08. So I was, definitely 5 minutes outside of the news, which occurred at 11. So per my plan, it was okay to get into this trade, and it was a short trade, going about 105.84 looks like short. And I definitely took a stop loss on this, and I took a full stop. Okay. So let me go ahead and mark that in here. And that was minus 24 ticks. All right. And you're going to have some of those. You're going to have some per our plan that you get in and they just don't go. Okay. But that's okay. You just have to deal with that. Okay. Now, on the next bar, we had a trigger on a reversal pattern. And this is one of the patterns I do take in my plan. Some people don't like to take a stop loss and then get in immediately on a second trade, so they're not comfortable with that, and that's okay. So some people don't have that in their plan. However, for my stats, I will take the first reversal off of this pattern. I'm not gonna tell you the pattern or the nuances that we use to get in, but this was a trigger, and this was one that has a 24 tick target for us, and we hit that. So let me go ahead and mark that in, plus 24 ticks. All right. Let's see here. Then, you have anything else? Anything else here? Okay, and then you see at noon, right here, right there at noon, that's my stop time per my plan. Now, some of our members will go on and trade. We got about 13 members right now, I know, that like to go till 1, and that's fine. We also have about probably 30 or 40 of us that stick to the noon, and then we also have some that only come in and trade for about an hour and a half. And they come in and they scalp and they get out. And I agree that the the momentum and the volume on some of the trades does slow down between 11 and 12 Eastern, but it's enough for us to stick around, especially on a day when we got late news like we did on the crude. But if some of our members were in and they stayed in until 1, they had another trigger right around this area. Looks like it probably went for 48 ticks, something like that. So there might have been another winner in there, but for our purposes, my day shut down right here around 12. Okay, and so we go back and we want to take a look and see how we did for the day. Okay, you can see we had one trade for 48 ticks. We had another trade for 24 ticks. A third trade for 48 ticks. Fourth trade 48 ticks. Let's see here. We had a break even, and then we had a 24 ticks, and then we had a minus 24 ticks on a stop loss. We had a great day, guys. I'm not going to say that this is actually typical every day. Are we making this kind of profit every single day? No. We're not going to make this kind of profit every single day. However, we are profitable pretty much every day, and you can look back. Become a member, you can look back and see the stats. Actually, I have my stats logged up to the homepage of our website, which is yourtradementor.com. Anybody can go in there and punch on the stats link there, and you can look and see what our stats were for all of January based on our system. And you might go into some rooms and you might talk to some people who claim to be profitable every day. Well, they're full of it. Okay, you can't be profitable every day. Losses are a part of this business. It's how you handle those losses and how you stick to your plan that makes your plan successful. And you'll see we have days in there that we're losers. We have days that we're winners. We have some break-even days. But over the long term, over the long sample size, our statistics show that we had, actually in January, based on 2 contracts, if you were to trade 2 contracts, we had about a plus $10,000 a month. Okay, and we also show on there if someone were to trade 10 contracts, which I trade a little bit larger size like that, 10 contracts netted you about $50,000 for the month. Now, it sounds crazy, but it's true. You just have to go back and look. And I don't cherry pick my stats. I don't cherry pick trades that worked over ones that didn't work. We stat every trade in our plan during the time frame that we trade. Okay? So, we don't go, well, I wouldn't have taken that trade because, no. We take every trade based on our stats. And if you lose, you lose. You win, you win. Over the long term, you have to learn to have faith and rely on your plan. So, you can see today, we had a great day. We had about plus $1,680 profit for the day. Let's see here, and that's after all of our wins and all of our stop losses are put together. Now this is without commission included, and we have some brokers that we work with. If you're interested in being referred to some, basically my commissions I'm paying is about $5 a round trip. Now I know you can pay a little more, a little less maybe somewhere else, but I use a really good broker. They take good care of me, and so I stick with them. So $1,680 of profit without commission included. It's a great day, guys. It really is a great day, and this is all done on the SDS system. Okay, and again, we invite you to come out and visit us at our website and come and see us, talk to us, learn a little bit more. We offer free consultations. I'll talk to you one-on-one over the phone or on Skype or however you want to do it, and we can talk a little bit more about what we offer. If you'll notice when you go to my trade room that we do trade live. I trade live for a living. Okay, I consult and I mentor people as kind of a second income. But my main way of making a living is trading the markets. Okay, so I don't talk to people. I don't work with people. I don't answer phone calls or emails or anything during the trade time, which is, for me, 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. After that, I'm all yours. We do trainings. We do talks. We run the SDS training course. And then of course, every night at 7 p.m. we run our we open our replay room, and that's where we basically replay the trades that we took for that day, answer questions for our members, answer questions for those who are running a free trial, and we try to get everybody involved and get everything squared away so everybody's on the same page. Honestly, you need to give us a call. You need to email me, and we can get some questions answered for you. We have a free 3-day trial. All you have to do is go to our website. You'll find a contact us button there. You send us an email, and we'll get you set up to visit our replay room each night at 7 o'clock for free for 3 days. And you can get a feeling. You can ask questions. You can find out what we're doing. You can make yourself as comfortable as possible, and test drive it and feel, see if it's right for you. I believe that all of our members are completely happy with what we've done. We basically approach this as a team. We all work together. I have great ideas for some of my members that have been here a long time, and they've developed some different nuances, and they've definitely helped me in my plan. Okay, but the point is that we're going to sit down with you one-on-one, and we're going to teach you and show you step by step what our system is, what our strategy is, what trades we take, why we take them, and then we're going to show you how to keep track of your stats with our stat sheet, and we're going to teach you how to take statistics on the trade patterns that have been set up correctly. Okay, we've had some people in the past say, well, they're going to go back and they're going to look at trades that they liked. Well, you can't do that. You've got to, in the moment, you've got to look at the trades that are in your plan, and we help you do that. And one of the biggest aspects of trading is you probably all have read or learned about, and if you haven't been told this by other people, then they're trying to rip you off, is it's up to you, it's up to your psychology, it's up to your mind frame. Okay, you need to have the correct mind frame to be a trader. You've got to become emotionless. You've got to trade like a robot, and we have a lot of techniques that we use to help people, and I think that's one of the biggest assets that we offer to our members is we offer a profitable system. The system works, you just have to follow it. So, please visit us today. Go to yourtradementor.com. Give me a call, shoot me an email. We'll be glad to answer any questions you have. We want to make sure that before you join and become a member, you're comfortable with us and comfortable with the system that we offer. So I hope you guys have a great trading day. I hope you come and check us out tomorrow. We'll post another video up tomorrow on basically what the outcome of Friday's trading was. So we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.